Hey y'all, welcome back to Reality Check Please. I'm your host Cassie and happy Monday. We are back with our reality rewind. We have a lot to cover today. We also uploaded our 1 minute with God earlier today along with our Bravo breakdown. We got a lot of good stuff from Bravo and we're not done talking about it because we are still going to recap a little bit of what has unfolded over the weekend. So before we jump in, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow as well with an Islander update. So we have a lot of good content coming out for you guys this week. If you didn't already know, I am also new to the Real Housewives of Potomac franchise. I started watching it over the weekend and I'm already done with first season. And so what a perfect time because what is going on with Dr. Wendy Osefa and her husband? So we have a lot to talk about. We also talked about it in our Bravo breakdown, but I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about us doing a rewatch recap for the Real Housewives of Potomac, since this is my first time watching it. That way it's a good throwback. We can recap stuff from the older seasons while I give you guys my real-time reaction. So pop off in the comment section. Just let me know what y'all think. And with all that being said, let's jump right in. So if you're a Real Housewives of New Jersey fan like I am, that is probably my favorite franchise. I can rewatch it over and over and over again. That and Vanderpump Rules. I something about the like something about the original like early seasons where they have like Christmas in New Jersey. I don't know. It's just, it feels so good. And it's like such a good franchise to rewatch. If you have been keeping up with the seasons and especially with like the most recent ones, you are no stranger to what has been going on between Teresa and Joe. Well, recently, Teresa has come out to talk about her relationship with her brother and whether or not she's actually reached out and got in contact with him. She says she has. Shout out to Byway Hello Drama for always also keeping us in the loop. They actually reported a clip of what Teresa had to say about her reaching out to her brother. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
How are those relationships at this moment?
Well, my brother and my sister-in-law, I'm not speaking to, but I did reach out and I said, because you know what, time does heal all wounds. And you know, when time goes by, you forget things. So I'm just like, you know, Gia and I were on Special Forces. We spent a lot of time before we actually started Special Forces and we talked a lot about a lot of things. So I want to be a good example for my children.
Okay.
I have 4 daughters and like, I don't want them to ever say, you know, I always tell them like, I always want you guys to get along. Please always be there for each other. I know you guys are going to marry other people, but always put your sister first. Or not first, but like always don't forget about your sister. Like, you know,
It's family.
Be a family, be a beautiful family. Like if someone doesn't get along, just be the bigger person, try to make it work, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, yes.
Yes.
How are those relationships?
So I can't, you know, I got to practice what I preach, right? So that's why with my brother, I reached out to him. And I mean, I put it out there because the only reason why I put it out there is Jeff Lewis asked me. So that's how the conversation started. So now I'm like, you know what? Never say never. Because before I was just like, absolutely not. I'm Italian. I'm like very stubborn. I'm like, it's never going to happen. But now after like, you know, time, it's been over. I would say my brother hasn't really been in my life. We've been married 3 years, but the drama started even before that. So
I was going
4
to ask,
years.
can you remember a time when you and Joe and Melissa all got along?
When I first met him, our first Christmas, they were at my house. Oh no. Even when we moved into our house, that they came over that first Christmas when we moved into our house. Yeah. So I can't, you know, I got to. Yeah. So yeah, so what? How many years ago was that? That Christmas we were together, and then that's
2021.
So that was the last Christmas we had together with them, 2021.
Well, you say you reached out. Is there a back and forth? Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're, you know, I think we're gonna meet and speak.
I never thought I would see the day, guys. Truthfully, honestly, I never thought that we would even get to be privy to them having a conversation. People are saying that they think it's because she does not know if she's coming back for Real Housewives of New Jersey season 15. I think it's season 15 or 16. But they're speculating that it's because she's probably on the outs with the network. However, now that she's done Special Forces, people are speculating that it has a lot to do with that. And she's now like sees things differently, this, that, the third. But what do y'all think? Do you guys think it's because she could be on the outs and she needs a paycheck. I personally think so. I've always leaned a little bit more towards Team Joe and Melissa, only because, yes, is there great things about Teresa? Absolutely. She's a great mom. However, I think that especially when you rewatch it from the very beginning and you see everything kind of like back to back, you get to see a lot of the toxic tendencies that Teresa has with her brother, in the sense that she always wanted to be first. Pop off in the comment sections. Are you guys team Teresa or team Melissa and Joe? I also honestly think that a lot of the reason is Louis, because prior to her meeting Louis or even getting married to him, getting engaged, Teresa was a lot better as far as like her relationship with Joe and Melissa. Moving on, I wanted to take you guys over to tasteofreality.com. They actually reported that Wendy Osefa's episode for Wife Swap was supposed to be the opener, but since her scandal, I guess you could say, is it a scandal? Since her issues with the law, they will no longer be showing her episode, but not only that, they will no longer be premiering on the original date. So I wanted to bring you guys over to Taste of Reality as well, because I wanted to show you guys the site. You just go to tasteofreality.com and they have a ton of different stuff. The latest news, their latest articles, live discussions, which is like of different shows that are currently airing, all their shows. They have 90 Day Fiance, Bachelor, all this stuff, Dancing with the Stars. So if we stay on the main page and we come down here, you will see all of the latest buzz. So I wanted to bring you guys down here to Wendy Osefa's Bravo's Wife Swap episode being pulled after her fraud indictment charges. So the cool thing is that you can have live discussions, you can comment on their article, and sometimes Ashley and Imani, the girls who run the page, are in the comments responding to other people. So it's pretty cool. All you have to do is just sign up. It's super free. And so they reported, this was actually written by Imani. She says, Wendy Osefa's episode of Bravo's Wife Swap, Real Housewives Edition, has reportedly been pulled amid her arrest. In case you missed it, Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy Osefa and her husband Eddie Osefa were indicted on October 9th in Carroll County, Maryland on multiple fraud charges. Following the news of their arrest, Bravo has pulled the series premiere of Wife Swap, Real Housewives Edition to October 21st, originally slated to air on October 14th. They pushed it back. The craziest part is that each episode showcases a swap between a Real Housewife cast member and an ordinary civilian family. Wendy and Eddie's episode was meant to open the series. Since then, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Angie Katsanevas will headline the premiere instead, while the Osefos episode has been delayed indefinitely. A spokesperson for Wendy told Variety Dr. Wendy Osefa and her husband, Edward Osefo, are back home safely with their family and in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from their friends, fans, and colleagues. The Osefos, along their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they are respectfully asked for privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process ahead. You guys, the craziest part is that Bravo actually picked up cameras. And from what I heard, they are allegedly also filming at Ashley Darby's, one of her most recent events. So it's far from over. Not even like just her like issue with the law and her felony charges, but for the show. Like, it's far from over, guys. Moving on, I want to finish off our Bravo Reality Rewind with a funny Vanderpump throwback. If you guys are an OG Vanderpump fan, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Early on, I don't know if it was during the season or during a reunion, Jax Taylor alleges that he was a roommate with Tom Sandoval and Channing Tatum back when they were models in either Miami or New York. And Channing sat down with Bravo Andy and gave us the scoop. Shout out to page 6. They clipped Andy's interview with
Jax on Vanderpump Rules. Jason Couchy.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You never lived with this person or a Tom Sandoval. There's someone called Jason Couchy on Vanderpump Rules who now goes by Jax, who said that in the day when you were both young models, he was a roommate of yours. Any recollection of this?
No. I mean, I need to see pictures of them.
Okay.
Because models, sometimes they'll throw you in like a model house, like
Yes.
that has just like a bed that
Jordan's going to find a young
I got
photo.
kicked out of like, I think my first model house. I got in a fight with one of the guys. And then,
Right.
but I never really went, no, I don't think so.
Were you the roommate?
So people in the comments are popping off, and I am here for it. It was Frank Drebin. If you don't know, if you didn't watch The Valley this past season, Frank Drebin is actually Jax Taylor's burner account. It's hilarious because he'll comment on his own stuff, like Jax Taylor's profile, like Instagram stuff, and just hype him up. It's sick. Someone else said Andy hates Jax and I love it. Someone else said maybe he broke Jax's nose the first time because we see that Jax got a nose job, I think, a few times on the show. But needless to say, I think we can finally put those rumors to rest. Channing Tatum, unless he did get into a fight with Jax Taylor and he was the reason why he got kicked out of the model house, I think it's safe to say that they were never roommates. But what do y'all think? Pop off in the comment section. Moving on, I want to wrap this up with our Love is Blind reality rewind. If you haven't been watching our Love is Blind recaps, then you may not know. But if you are, then you know that Casey and Patrick were the engaged couple that broke up. Throughout Casey's experience on the show and throughout like the pod experience, she did reference her ex-boyfriend. Well, a few days ago, he did post a video on his TikTok kind of clearing up the rumors. This is him. His name is Austin Friesen. He starts off the video by saying that he and her did not have a preconceived plan. They did not plan this to get famous, for clout, or to go viral. He then says that he did encourage her to go on the show because at the point that they were casting, he and her were done. He lives in Minneapolis. She lives in Denver. They were never anything serious. It was always a weird situationship dynamic. So he did tell her to go on the show as a friend. And I guess he told her to go on several other shows. He also did specify at the very end that he believes that Casey is a great girl, has a great personality, and that the edit that she's getting is kind of not true to who she really is. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I don't think that they did this purposefully. What do you guys think? Pop off in the comment sections. If you haven't watched our Bravo breakdown from earlier today, make sure you go do that along with our 1 minute with God. It was a few minutes. It's a good scripture devotional. We will be back tomorrow with our Islander update and to see what some of our Islanders have been up to. Give us all your hot takes and let us know where you guys are watching from. But with that being said, have a great rest of your Monday and we will catch you guys later. Bye, y'all.